Hi, in this video we are going to work on quadratic equations and try to solve them with sum and product rule. So, in the first one, I'll just start with thinking of two numbers that multiply out to 18 and adds up to minus 11. So, if I go with 3 and 6, in no way I can get 11 out of these numbers. 3 plus 6 is 9, and so on. So this is not my pair. So I'm going to go with 2 and 9. Now, in case both of them are minus, minus 2 minus 9 will give me minus 11. So these are my numbers actually. And you can see that minus 2 times minus 9 is plus 18. So I'll basically write down x minus 2 times x minus 9 inside the brackets. So you can write down x minus 2 is 0 or x minus 9 is 0, because one of them at least must be 0 so that you get a 0 here, right? So x will be 2 or 9. So this is how we solve such quadratic equations. Whereas there should be an initial step, let's say step 0 to start with, if you have a number different than 1 in front of x squared. What that step is that you multiply these two numbers, 3 and negative 8, which will give you negative 24. Now you have to think of two numbers that will give you negative 24, not negative 8, right? It's not the same as the first example here. You have to do the multiplication first. So, negative 24, I can go with minus 2. I mean, don't think about the minuses at the moment. 2 and 12, let's say. 3 and 8. 4 and 6, right? There are plenty of pairs that I can choose from. And remember, it's only one pair that's going to work for this particular quadratic equation. So, yes, it's not very hard to see that if I put a minus here, right? Minus 6 plus 4 will give me minus 2, right? And these two numbers multiply out to minus 24, so that's good. It's not going to be this and this, right? We can't take away or add to end up with minus 2 here. It's going to be 4 and minus 6. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to rewrite this quadratic equation like 3x squared plus 4x minus 6x minus 8, which is equal to 0, right? Now, what I actually did is that I broke minus 2x into two pieces, right? Minus 2x is now 4x minus 6x, because I've found these numbers working for me. Next, I'm going to group them, right, like this. And in the first one, I can factorize like taking, I can't take 3 out, sorry. I'm going to take x out. It's going to be 3x plus 4. Now, I'm going to take 2 out, right? And just because the minus sign's out, now it's going to be inside 3x plus 4. If you want, you can consider taking into negative 2 parentheses, okay? If you take out negative 2, then you're going to end up a positive 3 and a positive 4, right? So this sign changes according to this. All right, then I'm going to go on. You can see that these expressions inside, these are the same factors, right? And if they are not the same, this means you have a mistake in your work, so you have to go back and check. But now that they are the same, I'm going to take these out. So it's going to be 3x plus 4 times, sorry, whatever is remaining, right? It's going to be x minus 2 equals 0. Then I'm going to solve these. 3x plus 4 equals 0, maybe, or x minus 2 is 0. From here I can end up saying this is x equals minus 4 over 3 if you solve it. Let's write a proper 3. And x equals 2, right? So these are the answers for this equation. All right. Now, if you are given, or if you end up with an equation like this, let's say, then, there's only one additional step to whatever you're going to be doing to solve this equation, which is that you have to take these on the left-hand side, so they must appear on the left-hand side like 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 equals 0. You have to make sure that this must be equal to 0. That's when we call them as quadratic equations, and that's when we can solve them. This equation must be rewritten, all right? This is very important. Now, again, it's going to be 2 times 2, which is 4. Then I have 2 and 2, which multiplies out to 4, or 4 and 1. And obviously, 2 and 2 will not work. I can't get any minus 5s out of it. Whereas if I consider both of them as minus, then I can get minus 5 by adding them. So I'm going to end up saying this is going to be 2x squared minus 4x minus x plus, minus 2, which is, no, it is plus 2 actually. Sorry, I just get caught up with this one, right? So this is equal to 0, all right? And then I'm going to group them. Now you can do alternatively the grouping like this. When you do group them like this, you have to change this sign, remember. And you take 2x out, x minus 2 remaining inside, minus, well, this changes to x minus 2, and there is no common factor here anyway, so I just copy-paste it. And these expressions here are the same, so everything is fine. I take these out, saying that that's going to be x minus 2 in brackets, 2x is remaining, minus nothing is remaining, meaning 1, right? Remember that. Now, x minus 2 is 0. This means x is 2. And then 2x minus 1 is 0. Well, this means, let me get rid of this bit now. All right, this means x equals 1 over 2. Right, so this is how we solve quadratic equations by sum and product rule. Well, there are some special cases where you can easily go through square roots, right, and solve these quadratics easily. Now, for the first one, it's best if you get rid of that 3 by dividing both sides by 3. So you're going to end up saying it's going to be, x squared equals 9. And then you can take the square root of both sides, saying x equals, remember, it's going to be plus minus 3. There are 2 values that could be x, right? And here, again, get rid of 5. Yeah? You're going to have m squared equals 3. Well, 3 is not a square number, but that's not going to stop us. We're going to take the square roots of both sides, and then it's going to be m equals plus minus square root of 3. That's it, right? Unless it is asked to find the answer into some significant figures or decimal places, you leave it as surds, right? Careful with that. And here, you can directly take the square root of these 2 expressions because there is nothing to simplify. So square root and squares cancel each other out. We end up saying x plus 3 equals plus minus root 5. So if you just get rid of that 3 here, you're going to end up saying that x equals minus 3 plus minus root 5. Sometimes it's a good idea to write down x1 is minus 3 minus root 5. And x2 is minus 3 plus root 5, especially in this case, for example, right? So, again, unless you're asked to write a decimal, you just keep them as is. Right, there are 6 questions here in this exercise set. Please solve your solve these questions on your book and submit your answers online. Thanks for watching.